What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another WNBA video. We have ourselves a two-game slate to dive into for Saturday, July 26th. So we're going to break down and analyze each of those games. I'm going to talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points on the spread. And I'm also going to talk about a few player props that I found in those games that I like. And when it's all said and done, make sure you check down there into the pinned comment. You'll find a link down there that's going to send you over to the Guy Boston Sports channel. That's where you're going to find all of my final plays for these games listed for free. Now, before we dive into these games, let's go ahead and jump over there to the website. We got to take a look back at Thursday and Friday's videos. Let's see what we took then and how that ended up going down. And on Thursday, we do go 2-2 as far as our wins and our losses are concerned, right? But we end up over a unit on the day based off how we played those plays. We put a full unit on the Fever on the money line, and that was at plus money. So that one really helped us out a lot. That ends up cashing. And we took the Sparks team total over 85.5. Also put a full unit on that one, and that one cashes as well. So hit on both our full unit plays. Now, both these plays that we don't hit on, we only put a half unit on. So that definitely helped. Plus that full money or that plus money play up here at a full unit. So that helps us get up over that unit on the day. Rickea Jackson over 13.5 points obviously was not a hit, man. She lands at 4 points on 1 of 9 shooting. So just an off night for Rickea. Gabby Williams, man, over 17.5 points plus assists. She was at 17 in the third quarter, but the Storm were up so big. She goes to the bench, and I'm like, I'm not liking this. I don't think she's coming back out for the rest of this quarter or that fourth quarter with that lead where it's at. She did not, man. She lands right there at 17. We lose that one on the hook, man, which is what? A nightly occurrence over here if you've been following these videos, man. I love losing bets on the hook. That's my thing, apparently. But like I said, we do go up over a unit on the day despite that 2-2 record win-loss wise. So we will take that. We will definitely take that, man. Love that profit. And then we jump over here to Friday. And you can see that we end up going 3-1 as far as our win-loss record goes. We took Jonquel Jones over 19.5 points plus rebounds. Man, she had 19 with like 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. So was definitely feeling good about that one. She ends up cashing that one with ease for us. So we do hit that one there. I don't know why I took the aces, guys. Why do I keep doing this to myself? I'm a glutton for punishment, apparently. Aces first half plus 6.5. Now, I looked at these numbers, man. They had covered that rate at like an 80% rate this season, right? And then the Lynx failed to cover at an 80% rate, that 6.5 points in the first half. Once you know, man, the Lynx go in like up 15 or 16 at halftime, so we don't cash there. Then this next one was a fun play, man. That's what this little excerpt is here that I'm kind of talking about it, how this just breaking down what this play is, man. And like I said, just kind of a fun play because we've had such a tough time in the WNBA this season. I wanted to have some fun last night, and we did. We end up cashing on it, man. It's a winning at the end of every quarter bet, and we took any other result, which basically means that you need you need each team to either lead at the end of one of the four quarters. You need each team to do that at least once, or you need them to be tied at the end of one of those four quarters. So a couple different ways you can win this one here, which makes it pretty fun to watch, and just kind of adds an exciting layer to the game. So that's why we did that one there. Only put a quarter unit in on it, and we had a 30% FanDuel profit boost too, so that put it at minus 102, almost even money. So we do end up cashing on that one. And I took a live play, man. Took a live bet, the Liberty on the money line. Now at halftime they were trailing, and I had my eye on it, man. I had it in my bet slip, and I kind of wanted to see what energy they came out with, and I liked what I saw, man, in that first minute or so in the third quarter. So I went ahead and hit that, threw that up on here as well. We do cash on that one. The Liberty end up rolling in the second half. So it's may be a way that I kind of look at some of these games moving forward, just with how rocky this WNBA season has been. Maybe we start feeling these games out a little bit and throwing some more live plays in. That's not something that I've done a lot in my time betting the WNBA, but might be the route to go here this year. So if that's something you're interested in, guys, throw that down in the comments. The best way that I could go ahead and get these plays out to you guys, if I do end up placing more live bets, if that's a route that we do end up going, looking forward here for the rest of the season. Is it cool to just throw them up on the website? Are you guys seeing them? I know that I don't think there's any kind of way for you guys to get notifications there, so that'd be my concern. If you want to follow along with these live plays, not really sure the best route to get them to you. Maybe on X, maybe on IG. So throw that down in the comments what you guys are thinking. If you're interested in it, maybe you're not interested at all because I've had a kind of a 50-50 season so far this year. Maybe like, I'm not following your live plays, dude. So, I wouldn't blame you. I'm not mad at you one bit, man. It's been an up and down year for sure over here. So that said, plenty of opportunity here in August and throughout the rest of the season to get back on track, man. Chipped away these last couple days. I was down about 5 units on the season, so we're hovering around 3 units that we're down right now. Chipping away, like I said, man. Looking to get back in the green, right? Like I said, plenty of opportunity between now and the end of the season. I think there's only like 3 off days between now and the middle of September, and then we're going into the playoffs. So hopefully by the time we're going into the playoffs, we've done flipped this thing around. We'll get back in the green and we start stacking up on some units. That way we can end the season on a profitable note. That is the goal. End of the day, man. Had such a great season last year, so it'd be a shame to throw it all away this year, right? It's the world of gambling, though, man. It is what it is, right? So, we've talked a lot, man. We're already 5.5 minutes in, and we have not even got into these games. Let's go ahead and do that, man. Smash that like button down there for me, guys, if you can, and hit subscribe if you have not already. Let's dive into the mix. 7 p.m. tip-off time. We got the Los Angeles Sparks taking on the New York Liberty. Liberty opened up 12.5-point favorites. Money coming in on the Sparks side. That's down to 10.5. Total opened up 173.5. Market is expecting a fast-paced game. We see that line moving too. It's up to 176.5. The Liberty are playing in their 8th straight game at home, but they'll be on a back-to-back for this one, and they will be back out on the road for 4 in a row after just one day off after this game here tonight. Now, they sit at 17-6 straight up on the year, 11-11-1 against the spread, but they've covered and won outright in 5 straight games now. They're also 9-4-1 to the number at home, and they've won 12 of those games outright. The Sparks are 10-14 on the year, 10-13 to the number, but they are 8-4 against the spread on the road, and they are 7-6 straight up when playing away. Man, we gotta give them some credit, man. LA has been playing some pretty good ball in their own right. They've won 4 straight games. Now we do, full disclosure, 2 of those wins came over the Mystics. The other 2 wins came over the Suns. So there is that, right? 2 super young, 2 super inconsistent teams. And these Liberty are not that. They're the defending champs, obviously, but they may just be better this year when at full strength, man. Now Emma Messiman is going to be joining this team as well in August. She's a 6'4" big who won the Finals MVP in 2019 with the Mystics, so just more size and more length. And another former Finals MVP, to pair with Jonquel Jones and Brianna Stewart. So it's looking scary for the rest of the league, man. If this team can stay healthy, I don't know how anybody competes with them. I think Minnesota can give them another run, but yeah, it's going to be scary. But let's keep it on track here. I'm getting off track again, guys. Rambling this morning. My apologies. But the offense, man, for the Sparks, that the offense that they've been playing, it can't be ignored. It can't be denied, man. 93 points per game over their last 5 games. That's first in the W. Shooting 50% from the field over 5 games, 50% from the field, just under 42% from deep. They're hitting a little over 11 3-pointers per game. Those are all also first in the W over those 5 games. So, man, that offense is humming. It is rolling. But New York is New York, though. You know what I mean? And this offense, like we've been saying, when at full strength, how do you stop them for a full 40 minutes? It's proven to have been pretty difficult this season. I don't think anybody really has that answer yet. And I'm not sure that they'll find it, man. The Liberty sit at 3rd for points per game over their last 5. They're averaging just over 90 while sitting at 2nd in the W for shooting percentage, both from deep and overall from the field. Now, the difference between these two teams on the season and in these last 5 games, and what makes one side here great, the Liberty, and one side good, the Sparks, is defense. You know what I mean? In their last 5, the Sparks are coming in at 10th for shooting percentage allowed from the field, 9th for 3-point shooting percentage allowed, while the Liberty check in at 2nd for threes and 3rd for overall shooting percentage allowed from the field. New York is sitting at 2nd on the year for defensive rating, while the Sparks are 3rd from last. LA is looking really good in the post. They're leading the W in points scored from the paint and for field goals made from the restricted area. They are shooting at the 2nd highest percentage from that zone as well. New York is hitting at the highest percentage from inside the restricted area themselves, and they sit at 1st on the year for above the break threes made and shooting percentage, while the Sparks lead the W in that regard over their last 5 games. So like I said, man, these offenses on both sides. Can't deny it, man. They're both killing it. New York is only giving up the 2nd fewest makes from inside the restricted area, though, and the 2nd lowest percentage from above the break over their last 5 games. That's going to be the difference, man. All in all, defensively, the Liberty should have what it takes to handle this LA team over the full game. And with that number coming down, it was a lot of points sitting at 12.5. With it coming down, man, this might be a Liberty play. I wouldn't want to go against Liberty here. Not right now, especially at home. So I'm going to lean New York's way, man. I'm kind of going to feel this number out, man. If money keeps coming on the Spark side, and we can get that down in the single digits, boy, I'm smashing that. I'm smashing Liberty here on a back-to-back. I don't care. I don't care because it don't seem to mean nothing here in the W. You know what I mean? Last year, it seemed to matter. The years before, as I'm looking at WNBA, it seemed to matter. It doesn't seem to matter this year. I don't know what's going on, man. Teams will come in a horrible spot situationally, and they smoke that team with a lot of rest. That's in a better spot. I don't know, man. So yeah, I'm gonna lean New York's way here on this one. For the total, that number was high already, man, and now it's just getting up higher, right? It has everything to do with these high-powered offenses, that we've seen as of late, especially. And over the last 5 games, these are also the two fastest-paced teams in the W. Their first meeting this season landed as a push. It hit at 171. New York has gone over in 2 of their last 3. LA has in 6 straight. Now, with New York's defense in mind and that number so high, man, I wanted to get there with an under, but I just can't with the data, right? So, the numbers and what we've seen lately from the offenses, it's going to be a slight lean towards the over. But this is one of those ones where the line just isn't doing us any favors, man. I'm not seeing a lot of value here. I'm most likely just going to stay away from the total in this one here. It might, if anything, it might be a spot to isolate it to one side because no matter what, I think the Liberty gets theirs. It's just, do we see a dominant display from them defensively in this one? I think we do. And if so, LA doesn't do nearly enough to hit an over. So would we look at it under then? With them, like a team total under for the Sparks? That feels tricky to me because if New York jumps out to a double-digit lead, which they probably will, they've kinda they've shown the tendency in the past to take their foot off the brake some, right? Or take their foot off the gas some rather, defensively. And those games kinda tend to turn into a track meet where the Liberty say, "Sure, go ahead and get out here and run, man. Get some points up. That's fine. We've already built up a cushion. We're not worried about it. We're gonna keep outpacing you and outscoring you. We got that cushion already. You're good. Go ahead and score." So that's my kind of, my concern looking at the Sparks with a team total under, looking at the full game under even. So yeah, I think a lot of talking right there just to kind of land on the fact that if we're going to play the total here, if I'm going to play it, I would look to the Liberty and the team total over. Like I said, man, a lot of rambling today. Maybe the coffee first thing in the morning. I'm a free drinker though, so I don't know what's going on, man. But I'm up and ready for it. Maybe that's a good sign. Maybe we have a good day today. Let's go ahead and dive into the second game, man. 7:30 p.m. tip-off time. Seattle Storm taking on the Washington Mystics. Storm 5.5 point favorites in this one. Total sitting at 156.5. It's going to be the second game of a 5-game homestand for the Mystics. They're coming in off of a second straight loss to the Sparks, one before the break by 19, and then this one at home, their last time out by 7. In a game that they were not only favored in, but one that they jumped out to a 24-8 point lead in the first. They led by 10 after the first quarter. They sit at 11 and 12, both straight up and against the spread on the year. They're 7 and 4 at home, 5 and 6 to the number in those games. Man, those inconsistencies and those collapses in games after solid starts, unfortunately, they gotta be expected, and that's an area that I need to be better personally, man, and not force things, right? Because I really do like this Mystics team. I like them a lot. I actually bought tickets to go see the Mystics in the Fever in mid-August. It's like a Friday night. I'm so excited, man. I love Sony. I love Kiki. I love Shakira Austin and her energy and that grit and attitude that she brings. Jade Melbourne, Shook Sutton, like Brittany Sykes. Big Mama Steph. Like I love that team, man. They are so fun to watch, and they got just great chemistry and energy out there. But they're young, so they're going to be inconsistent. They're going to go through stretches, just tough stretches. So like I said, that's something that I got to personally keep in mind. But this team is solid for sure, man. They have exceeded expectations so far. They're just super young, man. On the other side, Seattle comes into this on their second game of a 3-game road trip and off of a blowout win over a very shorthanded Chicago Sky team. Storm, they are 15 and 10 on the year. They are 7 and 5 on the road, 13 and 12 against the spread, 8 and 4 to the number one playing away from Seattle. It's going to be the second head-to-head meeting between these two this year, and the Mystics, fueled by a 27-14 fourth quarter run, they rallied to beat the Storm in Seattle by 5 in that first meeting. They beat the Storm in the Battle of the Glass, and then they dominated Seattle in the paint as well, outscoring them by 18, 48-30. That was the key, man. The Storm shot the ball better from deep. The Mystics shot just 21% from beyond the arc in that one, 3 of 14. And on the year, Washington is hitting the fewest threes per game, sitting at just 8th for three-point shooting percentage as well. If the Mystics are going to win this game, man, they'll have to dominate the paint again. But in their 3 games played since last playing the Mystics, Seattle does sit at 5th for rebounds per game, while the Mystics have dropped to last in that regard. Storm are also giving up the 4th fewest offensive rebounds, the 4th fewest second chance points, and the 2nd fewest points from the paint. It's also a revenge spot for the Storm, right? But they've alternated wins with losses over their last 6, and they've really struggled to string together any kind of consistent good basketball, man. The Mystics are in a bounce back spot here at home against a team that they did just beat on the road. I'd be hesitant to take the Mystics out right here, man, based off what we said. We got to say, remembering that Washington is young and they're going to have their struggles, but I'm not sure I can put my money on the Storm, right, to win on the road by 3 possessions. Can they do it? Absolutely. But until I see it more consistently, man, I can't get there. So I guess it would be a default lean towards the Mystics, but I'm not liking the side a ton for this one, man. Honestly, the total's kind of ugly too, right? So we'll look at that, man. Total is down there pretty low, man. Both of these teams, they just landed at 143 in their first match, but with neither like relying heavily on the three, both preferring to play out of the paint. The defense of both teams is better than their offense, right? I get it. I get why this line is where it is. We've seen three straight and four of the last five head to head between these two hit to the under. The Mystics have hit over in their last two, but on the year they have hit to the under in 12 of the 23 that they've played, while the Storm have hit under in five straight games and seven of their last 10. I think the Storm controlled this one here, man. I think they get their revenge and they dictate the pace, and we see an under in this one. So that's the way that I'm going to lean looking at this game here. I got a couple player props that I like in these games, guys. We're going to go ahead and jump over to Outlier to check those out. As always, man, make sure you check down there into the description. If you are not hip to Outlier, we have a free 7-day trial that you can sign up for. Just click the link down below in the description, and you'll get to try it out for yourself, man. It's a wonderful thing, and we're about to flip over there now, so you'll get to see it firsthand as well. Our first play, I'm going to be looking at Natasha Cloud, her points and rebounds over 12.5. Minus 120 over there at FanDuel right now is going to be the best price that you can find that one at, and at DraftKings as well. You can see the Sparks, man. As far as points allowed, they're sitting at 11th. Rebounds allowed, they are first, right? For that guard position, they're still chilling at first for rebounds, but for those points allowed, sitting at 10th. Head to head, though, Natasha Cloud has crushed these guys. Now, these four games here are with the Mercury, so keep that in mind. But head to head, she's had some luck against these Sparks, right? 5 times in a row, she has landed up over this number. And in her last five, looking good. 80% hit rate as well. You had that dud against Atlanta there, but that's a good defense over there with Atlanta. Right, hitting at an 80% rate, and then looking at her last 10, hitting at a 70% rate. So we love to see all that. We can look at this insight from Outlier and see that she has landed up over this mark in 7 of her last 8 games, averaging 16.6 points and rebounds in that time. Gives us a nice 4-point and rebound cushion right there, right? We just need that 13 mark, and she's landing right around 16.63. We got to love that, guys. So a lot of green down here, man. So I definitely like looking at that one first. And I also like in this game, Brianna Stewart, her assist over 3.5. Man, she's been crushing this line, right? 100% in her last five, and you just keep pushing it back, right? It's just a lot of green. 80% over her last 10, 70% over the last 20, 14 out of 20 games. Gotta love it, man. Head to head, she's doing well as well. 61% against these Sparks, including that one meeting this year. She went over the mark as well. Um, as far as Sparks are concerned, man, for assists allowed, they're sitting at just 9. This insight from Outlier is going to show you, right? She's exceeded 3.5 assists in 4 of her last 5 games when facing a team that is sitting in the bottom 5 for assist allowed, which is where the Sparks are, man, right? 4 in a row, actually, in that regard as well. And with John Cole Jones back out there, man, that, I definitely think that we see facilitator Stewie a little bit more, right? They don't rely on her as heavily for that scoring output when you have the likes of Jones out there, Leonie Fibich, Sabrina Ionescu. Like, there's so many scoring options out there, man. It's not going to say that, Stewie's not going to get her own. You could look at the points and assist even as well, sitting at 21.5. She could have a good game, and obviously against the Sparks defense, right? It's there's definitely the capability. Somebody on New York's going to go off. It's just kind of a matter of who, right? There's so many options. That's why I don't really like looking at the points in this one here. But I definitely like the assist, man, because somebody's going to go off, and Stewie likes to facilitate the ball, man. I think that she sees a good share of dimes in this one here. Then next up, gonna be looking in that Seattle-Washington game, looking at Kiki Iriafen of the Mystics. Looking at her points, man, now it's sitting at 10.5, but I like taking that down a notch, just paying a little bit of juice, looking at it at over 9.5. She's hitting that at a 70% rate in her last 10 games. She did hit over that mark, hit landing at 10, right there at 10, right, when they faced the Storm earlier this season. And then on the year, 2025 as a whole, she is sitting at a 74% rate at this mark here. Right. And the big thing here, I did fail to mention that when we were going over that game, though, is that Aaliyah Edwards, she does come off the bench for Washington, but a forward for the Mystics. She is on the injury report, looking like she's questionable, I believe is what it said. Yeah, she is questionable for Saturday's game. So a right wrist injury that just kind of popped up, right? I'm not sure that she plays in this one, and if that's the case, Kiki is definitely going to eat up a lot of those minutes. So I definitely like her chances of getting up over her points mark, but I think I might like her getting over her rebounds a little bit better, even, man. Because if you look at Seattle, they do, they're as far as points are concerned, right? Scoring defense wise, Seattle is not a bad defense whatsoever, sitting at second for points allowed overall and versus that forward position as well. But if you look at, the rebounds, right, that it all switches. Washington is definitely the better rebounding team of these two. And like I said, without Aaliyah Edwards out there, man, she's going to get her time out there on the court. And Kiki is a beast on the glass, man, hitting at a 61% rate this season so far, 14 to 23 games. She did clear that line when they played earlier this season on the 13th of July, hit for 10 rebounds in that one. And we can look at this insight from Outlier as well, man. She has exceeded this mark in 4 of her last 5 games, hitting at an 80% rate. So I like either one of these, man. Like I said, Kiki on the rebounds, over 7.5. You're going to pay a lot less juice for that one, minus 115 over there at DraftKings, Hard Rock Bet. So we're getting a good price on that. But I also like looking at her on her points. And that is going to wrap it up for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. I hope you found the content helpful and useful. And if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you have not already. That's going to do it, man. Hope you all cash out. Hope you all have a great night tonight. I'm going to see you back tomorrow for the next one. A 5-game slate on Sunday. Let's get it, man. Have a good one, guys.